Issue. Everyone loves this issue for some reason. ESPN, the magazine's annual body issue, and Ezekiel Elliott behind me, is among the 23 athletes featured this year. It's on newsstands July 7th. Here's more on Zeke. Paul, joined by Jacoby of Jalen and Jacoby, the very famous talk show that people are now talking about.
Yes, give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want. Okay, so on his radio talk show, he talks about many things, different things. We're going to talk basketball and football today. Let's begin with the Clippers. Your take on Chris Paul and Blake Griffin leaving. Do they stay or do they go?
I think that Chris Paul stays and Blake Griffin goes. Oh. Now, one thing about him has changed a little bit more. I'm not sure he's worth this super max type of deal.
Okay, so you get rid of Blake Griffin. What are their options? Who's coming to the Clippers, and how does that make CP3 less frustrated?
It's interesting because I sit here and say, oh, well, Blake Griffin's always hurt. Blake Griffin's always hurt. But, you know, he's actually not as...
Hey, I love the what ifs. This is my favorite part. Even though people are like, just make it happen, I do love the what ifs and the possibilities.
Me too, the hypotheticals.
The hypotheticals. I don't see him coming to L.A. That would be LeBron, but you never know. I mean,
I didn't see him shaving his head bald, but there you go. Yeah, now look at him. Now look at him.
Bald, hello. We will switch to some football. I wanted to get your take on this because I've listened to the show, and I know you guys have talked about activism in sports, if you will.
Of course.
Last night, I had the opportunity to present at the BET Awards.
I saw it.
And I actually was interested.
Single penny of his endorsement money is going towards charitable causes. That, to me, says a lot more than a tweet.
Yeah, you got to put your money where your mouth is, much like when Colin Kaepernick is done. And do you feel as if athletes are more comfortable since Colin Kaepernick came out to talk about what they're doing and what they want to do?
I feel like the conditions around the Kaepernick, I think, did get a lot of attention, not some negative and some positive, but I think that he just sort of stoked the flame of athletes being more vocal. You see a more active athlete in the past few years than I have before.
Than ever before, and I appreciate that because it's good to see them in a different light. And like I said, not even evolve. They've probably all felt that way, but you're right, the intensity in our country and the climate forces them to feel as if they have to speak up.
We're gonna hoop up. It's one of those like playground hoop on wheels. I'm saying the hoop is high.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
But even did you notice as he fell down and tried to get back up, he fell down again?
Yes.
Okay, so what about that? 2 attempts
too. If I miss the first attempt, I'm not going back for the second attempt. You know, he should just be shooting threes. He didn't stretch or warm up.
Jacoby has his back. I appreciate it. Okay.
Yes.
Kind of, sort of.
High hoop. It's a high hoop.
High hoop. All right.
It's a high hoop.
Jacoby joining us on Coast to Coast. Always an excellent job.
Thank you so much.
All right. That's where we have our conversation today. So John McEnroe saying it'd be an entirely different story. And I think since the beginning of time, especially with tennis, there is always this conversation about gender. If it were men playing, if it was a woman playing, why is gender such a big issue in tennis?
That's a big issue society-wise. I mean, that conversation, well, first and foremost, is important to her. They will be the #1 player in the world with all the records. Kind of find that hard to believe based upon what we know about play. But secondly, it's so misogynist to have to qualify whatever a woman does through the prism of men. You know, when you look at what happened a few years, you can't justify a woman's performance without first thinking about what would it be like compared to a man.
Serena, the best athlete of all time, or one of the best athletes of all time, no gender?
I think she's the greatest tennis player of all time because how she's handled pressure point situations.
Marinate on what you just said. She's one of a few athletes, male or female, that we think no matter if she is in contention, she will win it all. If she is in the event, she will win it all. We have that with Jordan, Serena,
right,
and who else? It's hard to name. You said Michael Phelps. It's hard to name.
Exactly. And so when you realize that, not even the great Roger.
His ego. I do believe that most men, especially on the ATP, feel as if John McEnroe feels. Maybe not Serena the 700, but they do feel. You did say John is very complimentary of the sisters. You're right, and he does appreciate all that they do for tennis. It's just unfortunate that we have to qualify, especially in the instance of one Serena Williams, because she, in my opinion, is the greatest athlete of all time. Elsie Granderson, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We're Coast to Coast when we